there, superstars. It is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I'm bringing you yet another topic on relationships. I know, I can't help myself. But today's message has been one that has been inspired. Oh, I've got an unsteady table thing here. Ah, hang on. Have I gotcha? All right, my screen's gone all white. There we go. All right, so today's message has been inspired by a group coaching session that I had yesterday, which was absolutely incredible. And for more reasons than one, but one in particular, shout out to you, Brom, for your incredible musical talent. Oh my God. Performing original songs. I'm absolutely blown away. And it was so cool because this particular extraordinary human being who performed this song, it was so in alignment with the conversations that we were having in that group coaching environment. And we were kind of seeing a lot of overlap and a lot of similarities in terms of the challenges and the struggles. And a big part of it was all around relationship. Now, every single person in the group coaching arena were struggling with different issues on relationship, and you know, but there was this kind of underlying glue that we all want something extraordinary. And as I normally do in all of my coaching, I kind of coach how I like to be coached, and a big part of that is that I want to feel a depth of connection with the person that's helping me and supporting me and I'm sharing my world with. So what I tend to do, if it's called for and if I'm questioned, or if I feel like what I could share is of value, I do talk into different parts of my personal journey and experience. And based on the challenges that were going around this group yesterday, which was a bit of a different session because normally this group is all about the masterclass sessions. So it's like whatever the masterclass has been, like that's what we're doing the coaching on. But yesterday's session was a bit of a different one. It was more of a freestyle one. And for that reason, had a lot of these different challenges coming up that had this amazing similarity. And what I spoke into and shared with these amazing individuals was all about a couple of different relationships in my life where it's really the topic of today's message, which is that sometimes your willingness to end a relationship is the very thing that will transform it. And I have had, this year in particular has been one of the most challenging years personally that I've ever had. This year, last year, probably the last year before that was pretty challenging as well, but like this year kind of takes the cake, and I can see in myself an immense change, and that change has come based on my experience in a couple of these relationships that I want to mention to you guys today. So my past self was very much, anybody who knows me, kind of like when one chapter closes, like that's the end of the book, like we ain't going back, like that's done and dusted, in the past, moving on with the future. And so once a relationship in my life would end, be it an intimate relationship or a friendship, maybe I was probably a little bit more lenient with friendship, but ultimately what would happen is if it came to the end, it meant that that was it, you know, there was absolutely no turning back. And given a lot of work would be done before reaching to that point, right? But there was just like no chance, zero chance, below zero chance of ever turning backwards and opening up that door again. And I had that mentality for a number of different reasons, and they were all very well intentioned. And I'm not going to go into all the different details with that, but I was solid in my belief on that. And then this year came around, and I've experienced like some of the deepest connections I've ever had with a couple of different individuals in my life. And for me personally, that isn't always easy to meet and connect with people who I can really go like as deep as I absolutely am fascinated to go with one individual. And so what happened was, like, for whatever reasons, there's different reasons for those relationships kind of coming to an end, and me getting to a point where I was just like, you know, like, this just isn't going to work. I didn't want it to end, but I felt like it had to end, and for different reasons with these couple of different relationships. And so bringing it to the end, and having that willingness and that courage to just, walk the other path, and you go through a grieving process no matter what side of the relationship you're on, whether you're the one like kind of more so pushing for that end, or the other person is, and you're kind of like, oh, I didn't really want that to happen, or you both come to some mutual agreement, whatever the case may be. You're going to experience pain, you're going to experience disappointment, you're going to go through some form of a grieving process. But at the end of the day, what I found and what I spoke into with my group coaching clients last night was that I'm really starting to see how I've done something different, drastically different, which has been cutting that relationship, but then over a period of time, where I have been able to kind of subjectively gauge, like with this other person, like what's changed, what's shifted, like what lessons have been learnt, like where has our growth been. I've actually been able to, kind of turn the corner and kind of loop back, but it's kind of like not just a looping back, it's like a spiraling up to this next level. So you might kind of loop backwards as it feels like going back to, the potential of another relationship, but you're actually going up. So it's like it's three-dimensional. It's not like you're going backwards and you're going back to the same old patterns and the same old problems. You've actually, if you're two growth-minded individuals, who you were when the relationship ended is not necessarily who you are right now. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that it's not, in experiencing any challenge or pain, it's almost guaranteed that you're definitely not the same people that you were when you had the willingness to end it. And so I'm not saying that this is across the board. This is me talking into something that is very experimental for myself at the moment. But I feel like I would be an absolute hypocrite to say that I am an open-minded person who's had such strong beliefs and wasn't willing to change or make some shifts or experiment with it and give it a go. And so I feel really, really lucky that the individuals who I am testing this out with right now in my life are absolutely as committed to their growth and something extraordinary as I am, be it relationship in terms of friendship or intimate relationship, whatever that dynamic is. And you might want to think about that in your own life. And I will keep you posted as to how that kind of pans out, but right now it is looking really good, and it looks like that very willingness in order to go, I'm not going to go along with this, like the relationship as it is has to die, right? It's like a death. It's like a grieving process, a death to what was so that you can birth what could be. And if you have a growth perspective, if you reflect back on your experiences and you take the wisdom and you learn the lessons and use it to grow yourself and get more clear on who you are, what you want, who other people are, how to, navigate connection and conflict and all the rest of that brilliant stuff, then you will actually maybe get to this point where you can experiment with inviting that person back into your circle. Or given, take it easy, don't go crazy with it, and don't just go boom right back to the beginning. Really just kind of edge your way back into it with consciousness, with wisdom, with lessons, with new perspective, and also a clearer vision of what you want and what you don't want, what patterns you don't want to repeat. And I really do feel like this could be an amazing pathway forward. So it's not just black or white, there's a definite grey area. And there was a particular amazing human being as well in this group coaching arena who was really at that point, like going through it right in real time in terms of saying, having that willingness to go, this is not going to work right now. We have to have a death of what was or what is, so that we can actually open up the opportunity to create something more extraordinary. And so she's living it like right now and navigating that and helping her with that. And also one of these individuals who I've kind of brought back in and opened the door back to, one of the things that he really got clear on was, ultimately what had been tripping us up in our connection from his perspective, and what he's gone about it to make some shifts and changes. And having a whole new way of looking at relationships, looking at the world, looking at connection, and kind of getting out of the ego, like getting the ego out of the way, and actually, you know, opening up to more unconditional love. And it is really, really inspiring to me to see the transformation. And he actually said, you know, because you had the willingness to move away and cut me out of your life, you know, it actually gave me that push to make some shifts and changes. And, you know, credit to him, he's done that. Like, he's done the work. And that's the most challenging work of all, is to change the self, because we all want to change other people, right? So I definitely hope that today's message is serving you. And I definitely hope that, that you are resonating with this. And if you do have any relationships in your life in which you feel like this is not working, I feel like I'm hitting my head against a brick wall over and over again and nothing seems to change, like, ask yourself, like would you be willing to move away if the relationship wasn't going to change? And if you can get yourself to that point and communicate openly and consciously, not egoically and fearfully, about what you want and what you don't want and what you're not willing to stand for any longer, and, you know, paint a picture of the possibility of something way more extraordinary, then I challenge you to do it. And I know it's one of the most challenging things that you could do, but if you have a belief and a growth mindset, and you have a belief that something could be way better, and you're not willing to settle for like this mediocrity, then do it and see what happens. Because if you see and you look at staying the same, what it's actually costing you, it might give you that extra bit of fuel to go, no, I'm not going down this path. I don't want to be in the same position or worse in a year from now, in 5 years from now. I want to make some changes, and I believe in myself and this other person enough to know that we can shift and change, but maybe we have to absolutely close the door on what has been, so that in order for us to birth what absolutely could be. And that is the chance that you have to take, instead of staying certain on the path that you know is certainly not getting you in the direction that you actually want to go. All right, so anyway, I've spoken a lot, and I am definitely hoping that this message is serving you. So drop me a comment, let me know. Have you got any questions or comments or words of wisdom for our amazing community? Would absolutely love to hear from you. And yeah, let me know where in the world you are, and all that great stuff. And before I dive in, if you guys aren't part of the monthly masterclasses, you've got to jump on board right now. 1 week from now, I'm going to be giving one of the most powerful masterclasses of all, the neuroscience behind your personality, which will ultimately help you understand why you do what you do, why other people do what they do, how you can transform conflict into connection, how you can access your genius, how you can personally get into your flow state, what pathway forward is best for you in terms of your personal development and growth, how you personally can get stuck in procrastination, in stress and overwhelm, and a pathway forward to get out of it. This is what this framework offers for you, and I really want to introduce it to you guys. So if you want to be a part of that masterclass, you definitely click on the link up above and join the Limitless Potential monthly masterclasses, and I can't wait to see you in there live next Sunday. So let me check in. I've got Judy and Grant and Asif and Ludi and Andre. Awesome to see you guys. Hello to you, Andre. So I'm really hoping today's message served you. And as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and you're doing something empowering. And today's message has served you. And I so appreciate you guys who've been able to join me live. So much appreciation for spending your time with me, and I hope it was worth it. And definitely you guys catching the recording, drop any questions. I will definitely get in contact with you and reply. So sending you guys all of my love. I'm off to do my last little bit of Christmas shopping, and then I'm done. So sending you guys all of my love, and I'll see you tomorrow.